Hey everyone, this is Turd Flinging Monkey. So upon request, I'm adding to the Red Pill Grief Cycle series with a part 4. This part is going to focus specifically on overcoming the Red Pill rage. Now, if you've watched the other parts of the Red Pill Grief Cycle, you already know where you're going. You already know more or less how to get there, but you may be struggling, you may be stuck. So in an effort to help you break through, I'm going to talk about some things which hopefully can help you get over the Red Pill rage and move forward in your Red Pill journey. So the first thing you have to understand is the Red Pill rage is an emotional state. It's based wholly on emotion. So there's no amount of facts, reason, logic, or evidence that I can give you which is going to help you get over the Red Pill rage. Being an emotional state, you can only overcome this by fighting emotion with emotion or by overcoming emotion entirely. So the first tool you have in your tool belt is acceptance. Now that sounds simple, but it's actually very hard. You have to accept that fighting is pointless, that it's a waste of your time. As much as you hate the current system, as much as you're angry at the world, as much as you're angry at gynocentrism, you can't do anything to stop it. You can't do anything to fix it. You only have power over yourself. Generally, the more you validate yourself externally, through society and through others, the stronger your Red Pill rage. The stronger you feel betrayed by those you identified with and by those you derived your validation from. In those cases where external validation is very important to you, you're going to feel much more emotional response, and simply accepting reality isn't going to be enough. So you have to counter emotion with emotion. So the emotion that will help you break through from the Red Pill rage is love. And I mean love for yourself. Many times what I see when somebody's going through a very deep Red Pill rage is they hate others more than they love themselves. They want to hurt the system. They want to hurt these people that lied to them, that hurt them, that betrayed them. They want to cause pain more than they want to experience pleasure. They hate more than they love. The way to offset the hate is with love. You replace the hate for others with love for yourself. You love yourself, you take care of yourself, you think about yourself. You accept that they're pieces of shit, and you're fucking awesome. You move forward with your life, and you leave the dipshits behind. And now we return to acceptance. I'll use my mother as an example. My mother abandoned me. She was never that great of a mother, by any stretch of the imagination. There was a time where I was angry at her, but I realized that hurting her, causing her pain, wouldn't actually make me feel better. And if I was in a mental state where her pain would make me feel better, then that was actually bad. That would actually be a bad place for me to be in. You don't want to be in a place where you derive pleasure from the pain of others. You want to love yourself. You want to stop giving a shit about them. As long as they can't hurt you anymore, fuck them. Now, living in a gynocentric society, you can still be hurt by agents of gynocentrism. Even if you're not dating, even if you're not married, a woman can accuse you of rape or sexual assault or groping or who knows fucking what. It's getting worse by the day, honestly. But you can't fix that. There's too many cucks and manginas. You can't fix the system. All you can do is fix yourself. All you can do is improve yourself. All you can do is love yourself. And if you live in a country where things get so bad that even going MGTOW isn't enough, you need to leave. Don't worry about causing other people pain. Here's the difference. If you love yourself, you'll leave when the going gets tough. But if you hate the system, if you hate the other people who hurt you so much, you'll stay, and the system will destroy you. And then what did you accomplish? You accomplished nothing. You would have been far better off if you just left. And loving yourself and not giving a shit about these other people, even those who hurt you, will help you keep a clear head and will help you act in your self-interest when the time comes, instead of acting in their interest, instead of playing their game, instead of feeding into their bullshit. You know, there's this old cliched poem. I've seen it on cards, I've seen it on magnets, I've seen it on bumper stickers. It's that cliche. And yet, it's still true. And it says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And this is how you break out of the Red Pill rage. The reason why you're stuck in the rage phase is because you haven't been granted the serenity to accept the things you cannot change. You're focusing on the things you cannot change instead of things you can change. You can change yourself. You can change your emotional state. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to reorient your life towards something meaningful. You can choose to love yourself. These are things you have control over. What What you don't have control over is whether your society is gynocentric, the marriage laws, female nature, hypergamy, gynocentrism. You don't have control over those things at all. Instead of focusing on those things, focus on yourself, love yourself, and move forward. Have the courage to change the things you actually have control over, and gain the wisdom to know the difference between the two. You know, if you've been fighting gynocentrism for years, if you've been active in men's rights, you're not seeing any progress, it's going to drive you to be more and more angry. You're going to get more and more frustrated in society, but you need to let it go. Now, this is going to be a stark and morbid example, but I'm going to use the example of Elliot Rodgers. Now, Elliot Rodgers was angry because girls didn't like him. He felt entitled to girls' attention. Rather than focus on himself, he focused on everyone else. It wasn't his problem. Everyone else was the problem. And rather than improve himself to be more accepted by society, or rather than just fucking give up on society and do your own thing and find meaning and purpose in something other than people's approval, he chose to get angry at society. He chose to get angry at women for rejecting him. And it eventually drove him on a homicidal rampage. I don't want you to end up like Elliot Rodgers. I want you to focus on yourself. Who gives a shit about society? If external validation means that much to you, and you absolutely 100% must be accepted by society, then you need to change yourself so you can conform to society. Now, that won't make you a MGTOW, but at least you'll be happy. And maybe MGTOW isn't for everyone, so go be happy, but focus on yourself. If you can't bring yourself to conform to gynocentric society, and believe me, I understand what that feels like, then you need to let it go. You need to let go of the external validation. You need to let go of being accepted. You need to accept the fact that gynocentrism is not going to change. You can only change yourself. You can only let go of the need for their validation, of their approval. Focus on yourself. And that includes loving yourself and focusing on your happiness, not other people's misery. So in summary, the two tools you need to break out of the red pill rage if you find yourself stuck there for an extended period of time and you feel like you're being held back is acceptance and love. You need to accept the world as it is. Stop trying to change things you have no control over and love yourself. It's the only thing you do have control over. This is Turd Flinging Monkey. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.